another edition of Hope Healthy Living. I'm Hope. Welcome, co-host.
Hi everybody, it's me, Pearl.
How are you?
I'm amazing and in the Christmas spirit.
Yes, and as you can see, it's looking more like Christmas around here with all that glittering. And we have a beautiful apron, and we are going to show you one of our family's tradition, right? So I'm teaching Pearl how to make croquettes. I grew up eating croquettes. It was something that my oldest sister did when they came home for the holiday. So this is a very special recipe, dear to my heart and dear to my family. A lot of people eat croquettes in Cameroon, but when I was growing up, my mother didn't know how to do it, so my sister would do it when they came home for the holidays. So we're doing it today. So let's get started.
So I'm going to tell you all the ingredients you need to make this delicious treat.
Yes.
So first, you're going to need about 4 cups of sifted all-purpose flour.
Yes.
Then you're going to need about 1 stick of butter, which measures up to about half a cup. Then you'll need some brown sugar. White sugar will also work, but brown sugar really gives it that nice golden brown, crusty finish look.
Yes. And here we have a cup of sugar. You don't have to put all the sugar. You can go with half a cup.
Yeah.
Depends on your taste.
And then we have some eggs. You'll only need 3 eggs here.
Yes. And here we have double acting baking powder. And since we have this, we don't need baking soda because it already has baking soda. So.
Yes, but if you only have normal baking powder, make sure to also add in a little bit of baking soda. Here we have about a teaspoon of salt.
Yes. And here I have orange zest. You know, this is just for flavor. I love orange zest in my croquette, but we also have vanilla, and some people even put nutmeg, and you can also put cinnamon,
maybe
whatever
even
flavor.
a little bit of honey.
Yes, why not?
A more natural sweetness.
Yes.
And then here we have about half a cup of
milk. Okay, so we already washed our hands. You always want to wash your hands. I am going to take this. We already measure our flour. We have 4 cups of flour. So I'm going to take
Hope
about...
is over here. She's going to be doing the dry ingredients.
Yes.
And I'm doing the wet ingredients.
Yes.
Which is the butter and our 3 eggs.
Yes. I'm going to leave a little bit of flour on the side, and you're going to see why. This is in case I have a lot of wet ingredient, then I'll be able to add a little bit more flour. Okay? So here I have my 1 teaspoon of salt, as you can see, and here I have a teaspoon of baking powder. Like I said, this is a little bit more than a teaspoon, so I'm going to take just 1 teaspoon. Really, with croquette, you don't need it to rise, but you want it to be moist. Now, croquette is a little bit, let me put it this way. If you eat an almond, that's about how croquette would be like, right? It has a very nice crust. You have to break it. But you don't want it to be too hot. And
when it's fresh, it's more soft, but even when it's a little more hard, it's still very good.
Yes.
So first, I'm going to crack my eggs. You don't have to separate it or like beat it separately.
Yes. And here I'll be putting my butter in the flour, just so that I'm able to use my fingers to break the butter and, you know, mix it very well. And I hope that one day when you grow up, you know, you might want to keep the tradition going, right?
Yep.
Good. And I hope you guys at home are doing well and getting ready for Christmas.
And picking out a tree.
Yes, definitely. And so this is how I'm working my flour right now. I put the egg mix, the butter, mix it very well so that I don't have, you know, crumbs of butter. So this is what I'm doing. Good. And don't forget to pour the sugar in here.
We have to add the sugar into
for the 4 cup. We will use all that. And you know, this is a Christmas treat, so we don't do it year round. And because I always tell you, you know, croquette is something that is so crunchy, delicious to eat, but you want to be careful. It's a treat because it does have sugar and butter, so it's not something you want to eat all the time. Okay, so now, are you ready? Stir a little bit more. Good. And we don't really beat the eggs for this recipe just because really we are frying. We're not baking. So I'm going to pour it in here and then I'm going to mix it. Now I can add my zest at this time. I want just a teaspoon. Good. I can smell it even when, you know, I can. It just brings that freshness to your croquette. And let's get a teaspoon of vanilla.
Vanilla extract.
Yes. Good. Just a teaspoon. Okay. There you go. Good. Thank you. And as you can see, I'm working my flour now, and slowly, progressively, and surely. Good.
That looks like a pretty dry consistency, but we still have to add in our milk.
Yes. And like I said, just a half cup of milk. So I'm going to put it, this is a little bit more than half a cup, so make sure you're not putting too much. Because I have just 4 cups of flour, and now you see that it's really getting moist, and I'm going to be adding this flour to make sure that, you know, I have the correct amount of, you know, wetness to my flour, so not too much, right?
Yeah.
Good. So you go progressively, then I add a little bit more milk. And that should be half a cup.
Yeah. And also, once you need that in, you want to make sure to put just a little bit of oil just to finish up the cycle.
Yes.
So it doesn't stick to your fingers so much.
I'm going to use a little bit of oil just to get this off my hand. Yes, put it. And this is about just a tablespoon of oil. Okay, so not too much. So now I have my dough ready, but it's a little bit sticky on my hand.
So we're gonna add a bit of flour. Just powder over the top.
Just a powder, just to get it off my hand. So remember that. You don't want too much flour. You still want it to be moist, okay?
Yeah.
Good. And you can see that I got it off my hand.
Yeah.
So this is how, and you know, at this time, if you want, you can put it on the tray and work more, right?
Yeah.
But we don't need to do that. I am used to doing it this way, just the way.
It's a perfect consistency, very nice and smooth, not too sticky, not too watery.
As you can see. So it's gonna look more like a clay dough, right? And so you can see this is ready. That's a nice ball, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is going to take a little bit, just about this.
Yep.
She already washed her hand. You always wash your hand when you're making food, and this is how I do it. My sister did it. So, but today you can use the board, but I'm teaching you the hard way. See, great. Put it on the side, and then this. You don't need to put it on the board, but if you put it on the board, you have to put a little bit of flour. Remember that. Good. And I'm glad to be doing this with you, you know. So this is how you pass, you know, tradition, something that we did around this time of the year in our own household.
Yeah.
And so today I'm glad to be doing this with you in my own household. So we move on with the family tradition. I'm sure you at home has, I'm sure you have family tradition too. Share with us, leave us comment down below, and that is nice. And I'm going to bring this close to the camera so you can see the result. And this, our croquette is ready. So I think you can see. Great. And so when we come back,
we will be rolling it out and then cutting it out.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit more. So just like that, you cut it, slant it, and then you open it, okay?
Okay.
So that's one shape that we did, but there are many, many more shapes, right?
Yeah.
Be careful because it can open up. So, and this was fun. When you're little and then your sister come home, you're very happy, and then you start, and you know what is coming up, so you get excited. We were always excited about doing this croquette. So I'm going to split this in two. So we'll do the easiest kind, okay?
Okay.
So just you do the small. And it's also like a chain machine, right? And I like to do it fast, but you have to be careful when you're using the knife.
So this is a more child-friendly way to use the pizza cutter.
Yes.
And it's also actually a little faster.
Yes. You go ahead. I'm going to use this. I'm a little bit more careful, but it's something that I know how to do. So there you go.
Okay, I rolled out my dough. Now, just like Hope, I'm going to cut it into strips.
Yes. Nice. It looks perfect. You're doing a great job. And I'm glad that you are in the kitchen and learning with me, You never know. It's good to know how to do all these things. It just makes you a more rounded and complete person, don't you think?
Yep. Okay, guys, we're back, and now it's time to fry.
Yes, and you make sure that your pan is well heated, right? Mm-hmm. I have it at 400 degrees because it's electric, but anyway, to check that your pan is well heated, you can put a couple of them and fry them first.
Yeah,
but
just a test.
Yes, but this is our second batch, so I already know that the pan is well heated. When you put it in, it goes up right away. Mm-hmm. You know that the pan is well heated.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and put the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, less. And then you have to flip it.
When you see it start to brown,
yes,
make sure to flip it on the other side.
Yes.
So it gets evenly cooked.
Yes.
And so that
and then you have
have
to have something like this.
Like a plate.
A plate with the napkin because it's going to absorb the leftover oil. And this is the first one that I put, so I can take it.
Healthy as possible.
Yes. And then if you feel like it's too hot, always make sure to reduce the heat once you already have it in. So I reduce
Make sure if this is your first time, keep it a little lower than usual so you can keep up with it.
Yes. And because this is brown sugar, you know that it's going to brown faster, right? Yeah. So you make sure you are watching when it's cooking. Good. As you can see, you want them golden brown, just like this. Perfect. Okay, now we have come at the end of our show, right?
Yeah.
This is the fun part. We're going to show you our croquette. As you can see, we have a batch here, a batch there. We have some nuts and more croquette. So we are definitely going to package some for friends and family.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you how we do it. So a little bit of croquette
Here we already added some croquette and I tied a nice bow. That was good.
And then add some nut. As you can see, when you have croquette and the nut, definitely it makes it crunchier and why not healthier too, right? Because remember, croquette is carbohydrate, so you add a little bit of you add nuts, so you don't have to have too much of the croquette. So this is nice, and I'm going to put it in this box, and this is for one of your friends, right? And this is nice. Okay, so this is how we do it, and this is the time of the year really to do things like this, right?
Yeah.
For friends and family.
And these jars are really cheap and inexpensive. We just got these at Dollar General,
Yes.
Dollar Tree,
Yes.
but they're still really cute.
Yes. There you go. Tape it. And can we show it? Good. And so, if you like this, please, you can try it at home. This is delicious. I always think this is my favorite. It takes a little bit more time to do it because you have to shape it. But hey, this is what we do during the holidays, right?
Yep.
And now, if you like our video...
But it's time to taste test.
Oh, of course we have to taste test, but guess what? We still want people to support us. So if you like our video, please subscribe, share, and don't forget to leave comment down below so we know what we are doing as
Make
well.
sure to subscribe. Don't forget.
Yes, and for more ideas about healthy living, what do? Visit our website, InvisisonHope.com. Happy holiday, Merry Christmas to all. And now we are going to taste it before we say bye.
Yes.
Okay, so.
We already know it's good.
Yes, because we have been eating it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I love the almond. This is my favorite. Pistachio. So don't forget to have some nuts and, spread some love. And
maybe even have some warm tea or apple cider.
okay, so this is the end now. Can we say bye?
Bye.
Bye.